For our 12-minute aerobic test, or it's called the Cooper test as well, we're going to select our device. In this one, I'm doing it on the treadmill. We can also do it on the bike or other aerobic modality, even outside. If we have GPS on our watch or on our phone, we can do that. The only thing to consider is weather. We want to be able to do this test every 3 or 4 months. We want to make sure we can do it in similar conditions so that we can compare the data. So for this, I'm just going to do it on the treadmill and show you the setup. Safety first, make sure we have the emergency switch connected. And we're going to warm up. We're going to make sure that we'll warm first. I'm setting it up, starting off the treadmill, going at a walk or a light jog, depending on what level you're at. You're going to pick your intensity for that warm up, making sure we don't fatigue. So let's just say we do our warm up here. I do recommend at least around 5 minutes. We should be warm if we were doing all the other testing protocol just prior to. Making sure our shoes are tied up and even double knotted, because I see on these tests near the end, 10-minute mark or just before, the shoes come undone and then it throws off the rest of the testing. So make sure those are set up. You feel good, you feel warm, because we're going to give it our all here. We're going to go for 12 minutes. Whether it's a fast walk, whether it's a jog and then go into a walk, we want to challenge ourselves and really push ourselves to whatever capacity we have. If we can, we'll ramp it up and go as fast as we can for that 12 minutes in a run. One thing important to note, we're going to go on, if we're on the treadmill, just to mimic being outside doing a run, we're going to bring it up to an incline of 1, the 1 degree, the 1 grade on the treadmill. So we can do that part of a warm-up. The other thing we're going to do here is when we're ready to test, make sure when we look at the time or when we see the distance, have the distance, because you need to track the distance, of course. We're seeing how far we can go in that 12 minutes. Right now I'm at 0.06. This is miles, 0.07 miles. I'm going to go, say, warm up, make sure I'm at a clear number so I can subtract what's already on the treadmill or the bike, whatever modality we're using. Okay, so I'm at 0.08. Maybe I'm going to speed it up here to a speed that I want to start running at. So I'm going to bring it to, let's just call it a 7.08. And I'm looking at the time. Time is right at 2 minutes. Or I can start on my stopwatch because we're going 12 minutes. And we're going here 12-minute run. So because I'm at 2 minutes, I'm going to go to 14-minute mark. And I know whatever distance I have, I'm going to subtract 0.1 miles from that total. So being nice and light, focusing on our breathing. If we can, say about 6 minutes in, we're like, oh, I feel fresh still. Then we're going to increase the intensity or the speed a little bit more so that we can increase our distance by the end. If for some reason you feel, you know what, you're really unconditioned, you don't feel so hot as far as being able to maintain it, you can bring down the speed and still keep an eye on the time. If there's that 2 minutes left or a 10-minute mark, we can ramp it up. I do suggest, if you're on the treadmill or another device, having a timer maybe on your phone, your watch, so you can have that clear time so you're not doing any math. Just make a note of the distance if you're starting with a distance on the treadmill or on the bike for that warm-up. If you're fatigued, you need to slow down a bit more, do what you need to do. Go for a walk. Let's go a fast-paced walk where we're getting really pushing it so next time we test in 3 to 4 months, we want to see we've improved. We don't want to be like, you know what? I don't think I really pushed it that hard on my last test. We want to make sure we left nothing on the line. We went all out. Okay, I've caught my breath back a little bit. Now I'm going to speed it up. Playing with that speed. Again, doing the best we can on this test. Once you're finished, you can hit the stop. Make sure you've got that, you know the distance, so you can record that and get an accurate number. So here, 0.26 miles. Cool. I'm going to convert it into kilometers for the app so we can record that, be accurate. And you're likely going to want to cool down after this. Well, I suggest you do cool down. So even though I stopped it, I'm going to start it back up. And go for it here. So I'm just going to do a light jog or a bit of a walk just to cool it down.